The march was aimed at highlighting safety and security measures at all schools, school sanitation and eradicating containers used as classrooms at schools. COSAS is also standing with learners whose parents were denied report cards due to the outstanding school fees or textbooks. Let's talk more on this. We're joined by Douglas Ngobeni from COSAS, who's the COSAS spokesperson. A very good afternoon to you, Douglas. We're live on air. Thanks very much for joining us here on SABC News, sir.
Thank you, and good afternoon to all the viewers of SABC and yourself, and of course from the Black and White Army.
Let's talk about the march on Thursday, which of course ended at the DBE offices in Pretoria. What came out of that march, and were you indeed given an audience, given some of your concerns? And I'm sure you can highlight those concerns for us, which some of them we've gone through at this time.
Look, the Congress of South African Students and the Department of Basic Education have always maintained a solidable relationship. So every time we march to the Department of Basic Education is, of course, because of dissatisfactions which we find, our constituency find, and we end up marching to the Department of Basic Education. So, of course, we went to the Department of Basic Education, we were given the correct audience. We met with the senior executive or senior management of the Department of Basic Education. Some of the things which we have raised with the Department of Basic Education are issues that are going to be addressed as soon as January. One being the fact that we are calling upon the Department of Basic Education to scrap the publishing of matric results, because that thing on its own leads to learners who might not have performed exceptionally well, committing suicide, this and that. So that is an immediate issue. And we're also discussing the curriculum review of the Department of Basic Education. We're also discussing the issue of language policy, the transformation of language policy. So those issues are being given appropriate attention as we speak.
Yeah. Douglas, interestingly, you talk about the issue of containers, which is one I know I've raised on this particular show with the department. The issue of containers being used as classrooms, I mean, this was meant to be a temporary measure, but it seems to now have been a long-term measure. What answers are you getting when you speak about this particular issue? Because it really has been quite ongoing, and I mean it's also obviously mixed with the issue of COVID-19 in terms of trying to separate students. I wonder if you're getting any sort of answers when it comes to building of more classrooms where there are schools that are using containers as classrooms.
Look, that is a non-negotiable issue. There is no MEC, there is no senior manager of the Department of Education who would be officed in a container. So there is no sanity at all when our learners are found in these very hot, unsafe containers, which we do not even know who are the manufacturers of those things. So we are also raising that thing with the Department of Basic Education. Those things are being given proper attention because we are not yet to play. We told the Department of Basic Education that come the first 3 months, the first quarter of next year, if we still find those things, it means that we'll have to take action, and our action has always been one. I mean, taking to the streets, each and every corner of the country, I mean, banning. So there is no dignity in learners attending in classrooms. Of course, in this container. Of course, that was an issue which the department said, no, we are doing it on temporary basis, but it looks like the issue is being permanent now. We are engaging with the Director General of Basic Education, because at the end of the day, it's not even the minister, it is the Director General who has to put a signature to that. If the Director General of Basic Education, Mantas Imam Wade, does not do away with that thing, it means that we will have to do away with it.
Yeah, and then there's the short-term issue, which is that you want all students to receive report cards as well as their textbooks. And we know that schools have been, withholding things like report cards where school fees is perhaps outstanding. What are you hearing in regards to this? I mean, this is an immediate thing. I mean, reports are supposed to be coming out right now. Is there going to be some sort of assistance in this regard for those students whose parents are not able to perhaps pay school fees?
Look, we are just worried with our parents going out to have agreements with schools on our behalf. More than 80% of the schools in South Africa are non-fee paying. But even outside fees, Section 25 of the South African Schools Act, sub 13, says that there is no school which is supposed or is allowed to withhold a report card of any learner for whatsoever reason. So it means that if a school does that, they are acting against the Constitution, and anyone who acts against the Constitution is committing a criminal offense, and that person must be arrested. We have received more than 1,000 complaints already. Parents saying that no, the school says that they're not going to be able to give us reports because our learners have not paid these 200s. Our children have not returned the textbooks. I mean, that is a question out of proportion. You will not expect a grade R learner to return a textbook properly at the end of the day. Those creatures even lose their own shoes. So how do you expect them to keep a contact with their textbooks? And if they are not able to return those things at the end of the day, you say that you're not going to be given they are not going to be given their reports. You're basically denying them their right to knowing how they have performed all out throughout the year. So that is a question which we are not willing to negotiate with anyone. We are calling upon all the parents in South Africa to stop committing to things which they know they cannot. They are not supposed to pay any school fees. Those agreements end up affecting their children. It is not them. Some of them, their parents work very far from home. And then now it is time for reports. It's December. Some of them are busy hustling there. They want their reports. Some of them are applying for institutions of higher learning. Some of them TVETs and everything, but they're unable to get their reports now. What we are saying is that whoever is keeping those reports is committing a criminal offense. They should not do that. In a case where that is done, they must call us. We are going to attend properly to that person who is doing that nonsense.
How will you attend to that person? Well, that sounds like a threat to me.
We are not, it's not even a threat. We are just protecting and deepening our democracy. We go to the school, we speak to the principal. Principal, you are saying that you are acting against the Constitution or opening a criminal case against you. But if you want to act smart, we'll just go into the locker, because that is our school. We'll open that locker ourselves. We're going to take those reports. We're going to distribute them to their rightful owners. You are not the owner of the school. We are just a school principal. You are given a responsibility to run the school, not to deny children or our members the rights which are enshrined in their Constitution.
All right, Douglas, thanks very much for giving us your time here on SABC News.